G'day guys, welcome to the mailbag. The mailbag is powered by Punting Form.
And to the girls. Guys and girls.
Guys is not like guys. Guys is like boys. How you going, boys? That'd be a bit misogynistic, Drew.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey guys. Is
2019, mate. Can't say it.
God, fucking Gillette over here.
Tweet us in.
Anyway, everyone in the mailbag, particularly Drew and I, use the Punting Form Sectional Pro subscription.
That we do.
I couldn't bet without it. I highly recommend you try it if you haven't already. We're also powered by Betfair. Betfair Live is the latest tool that I've sort of really started to utilise. I really
The WAP's so good, isn't it? Weighted average price.
Yeah, it's a lot better than the VOP, which they've made massive changes to benefit the punters. Like, geez, they look after us. Thank you guys. We really appreciate that you're now taking PointsBet as a fucking reference for the fluctuations and not taking any on-course bookmakers, which is the only place where the monsters bet laid, or the main place.
Yeah, they're on Betfair, that's it. Really.
Anyway, as always, we're hydrated by Mountain Goat Lager.
That we are.
Which we love. If you head to the Betfair Hub, which you should, to have a look at Betfair Live. So I use Betfair Live for the last 5 minutes before they jump. So send it out the yard, sit down, start to watch Betfair Live, because the market's the collective intelligence of the whole world who wants to bet on that race, on that outcome, and it's the guide to what the market's doing. So, everything goes through Betfair. If a massive bet comes with a corporate, PointsBet, or it comes with an on-course bookmaker, chances are a lot of it gets filtered back through Betfair.
Well, they'll lay off if they don't want to take on that horse. I mean, Walshy won't, he'll tell you what he does. If he wants to have an even result on something, he'll put it back through Betfair. That's just what they do.
Yeah, and if you're on the hub though, this weekend, when will it go up, Drew? You've previewed Goodwood on Saturday night for the punters, free. You've been airborne, I'd say, lately. Previewing over there, you've been up, you haven't slept a lot this week. You've been watching a lot of racing.
I've had 3 bets and I've had 3 winners at Goodwood, so it's been a good week so far.
Excited for Saturday night?
It's a tough card. It's a really tough card.
I'm normally cooked after Pistol Pete, the wizard from the west, delivers a goodness. Say race 8's enough for me.
Well, the good news...
How good was yesterday?
Well, the movers. Hell yeah.
No, the movers was good, yes.
Well, then Pete getting the one in the last... Okay, did you see that? Did you actually...
Yeah, so what happened was...
I thought it got beat.
So I tweeted that, finished what I was doing, went out for dinner, waited till just when I was about to jump. I'd already bet.
Yep.
What I thought he said was tipping the 5. Came back in, just went quiet out there, maybe she's listening. Anyway, came back in, watched the race,
yep.
And then sat through the rest of the dinner, just like pushing down my fucking anger at how that thing lose, because I thought it lost.
Yeah.
And then I saw everyone on Twitter going like, "Oh yeah, well done. You fucking won. How'd I win?"
I have no idea, because I had a pretty significant turnaround if it got beat. With, I liked the horse on all the Punting Form data, and Petey's tipping it, and he was pretty happy to be having a go at it. And I'm like, oh shit, another one we get bobbed out of. I still can't understand. I'm not going to ask for the photo because I don't want to see the photo.
Just check the balance.
Give me the money.
Now, speaking of, we're going to get this out of the way. We're going to clear the air.
Yeah.
You tweeted something last night, which I found deeply offensive.
Yep.
I understand and I can accept criticism, harsh talk about my golf swing.
Yep, that's fair.
But to question something that I've prided myself on for the majority of my adult life, rightly or wrongly.
Your staying power.
And I admit that recently I sort of dropped off a little bit.
Yep.
But I have had a fair bit going on. I've got a 10-week-old little baby. But my ability to stay is something I pride myself on, and you have implied that a short old man can go harder.
He's in his 40s.
Go harder.
It's about as old as Walshy.
No, he's younger than Walshy. Now, you think he can go harder and longer than me? Is that what you're saying? Frankie can outlast me and go a little bit harder?
Frankie Dettori is airborne on and off the track. Absolutely airborne.
Yeah. But can he outstay me?
I think he's more seasoned than you, especially in the last few years.
I find that offensive. And Frankie, if you are watching...
Challenge accepted?
Yeah, we'll rip and tear all the way through Melbourne, taking like the Geelong Cup or something.
Well, you'll be out for the Melbourne Cup, so let's give it a go.
Well, Frankie, if you're watching, let's find you a ride, Drew. Sort out the internationals. Find him a ride in the Geelong Cup. Come over, just ride that one race. We'll look after you before and afterwards.
Oh, Geelong Cup day.
Win that race, book yourself a Melbourne Cup ride. We'll hit Geelong, get a bus up to Melbourne, back up, I think it's the Valley on the weekend.
Yep, Valley. Yep.
Let's do it, Frankie. All right, email of the week time, boys. We've got one. I love this email.
We're still going with boys.
The email says Dicko boys, implying the panel.
That's fine.
First time emailer, long time viewer. I've got a two-part question.
Who is it?
Kyle.
Okay.
It's spelt weird. Might be like sort of
Not Kylie?
No, it's
Kyle.
I think he's like Swedish or something.
Okay.
Anyway, Swedish heritage. First time emailer, long time viewer. Two-parter. Thoughts on the upcoming Ashes? Via Twitter, I've seen that most of you seem to have a fair interest in the nation's #1 sport, which has stolen, this is why I love this email, which has stolen so many a young man's youth.
Yep, that's fair.
Given Australia's beta-like, outstanding commentary, beta-like performance through the World Cup and some uninspiring Ashes selections, do you think we are a chance of turning the tables on the Poms? Myself, this is still Kyle, or Kylie, given Alex Carey was one of the only batsmen outside of Steve Smith to look comfortable at the crease throughout the World Cup, and he hasn't even been included in the squad, I don't have much optimism. One positive is that David Warner's new approach to batting will suit Test cricket. Outstanding. I've never met him or anyone who has met Dave, but he does seem like a very me kind of guy. I don't think he'd be a boy's boy. Thoughts?
Here's a tough one. He could go either way.
I just think that's the greatest question of all time.
Like, he would be... I could see him being a play up to the point where... Who's the Cronulla guy who takes the piss literally?
Todd Carney.
Yeah, I could see him being as crazy as Todd Carney, but I could also see him going the Michael Clark route and just being a little shy. I'm just going to have a few bevs and...
Well, I think he does put a few tips in the hair. Anyway, I think David Warner's a downhill skier and was selfish in the World Cup.
Yep.
I couldn't agree more. His batting style might suit the Ashes, which I'm very excited that starts tonight.
Yeah.
I wish they played...
What time?
8:30, I think.
Oh, good time.
I wish they played Alex Carey. He deserves to play for what he did in the World Cup, I thought. Beautiful time to give him...
Why did he get dropped? Politics or...
Tim Payne's the keeper, the captain. I don't know. I think the Australian cricket team spend too much time in bare feet, visualising and holding hands, and not enough time smoking darts and drinking beers and just being like fearless and taking the game on, Drew.
So it's over there. Did someone try and beat Boone's record on the way?
No, well, this is probably not for the show, but David Boone had a lot longer on the plane than you get now.
Yep.
For one. But it's a different time, different generation.
Well, you could have figured out the time scale and then brought it, you know.
I think it was like a 48-hour flight almost.
Oh, would have
Not
been.
48, but a long time.
Would have been 30-something, yeah.
Anyway, I think that's a great question. I've already written back to Kyle. I said Kyle too, so hopefully it is Kyle.
Mm.
And
I'm just messing you, I'm pretty sure it's Carl.
He'll be getting onto the movers this week. His second part of his question, which leads into Moonee Valley, we're getting there, guys, we're getting to the races. The Valley, first up off a very long spell. How do you expect it to play, and do you adjust your approach when faced with the city track first up off a spell? Does it affect your unit spend, etc.? Great question. I'll go first here. This track last year threw up a few random results and a couple of lanes.
Yep.
So like with any track, with this sort of setup, even it doesn't have to be a city track for me, like Sale yesterday. I'll try and find my feet early, look for a pattern, see where I want to be in the run, and adjust my betting from there. If I figure out if I think I've figured out the pattern, I'll bet from there. So it's all it's all happening throughout the meeting. Definitely. So I haven't really got a mindset other than to take my time and try and figure it out. If I did, I'd bet right up, and if I don't, I won't bet. But that'll be the same pretty much method I'd use on every track every day. Same as Caulfield on Saturday. You?
I think more than ever this is the type of track where you either want to walk it or you want to be talking to 2 or 3 jockeys on the day before the start, and even the curator, because they're more than happy to have a talk about what the hell's going to go on, because it's a fresh track. Typically, you can get Moonee Valley being leaderish, but the past 2 seasons, they've been trying to counter that.
Yeah.
So the inside can be off.
Yeah, so I'm doing this meeting from a previewing point of view for our show, for you guys at home, or in your car, wherever you are now, as even track but on pace suited, which is a normal racetrack in Australia.
Yeah. 5 years ago, with no Twitter, no looking, people hating on the track, right? This would be on pace. There would be a clear bias at Moonee Valley because it's prepared perfectly for the 1 to 3 metre lane to be the best spot. But now that there's, if anything, Twitter and all that is actually hurting some of the advantages I think punters had over bookies in knowing that, okay, this lane, typically first track of the season, this amount of rain, there's been a little bit of bias, and that was actually really good for betting.
Better content from racing.com, etc. With more talk about these sort of issues, which is a huge edge. Anyway, I can't wait to get back to Moonee Valley. It is my favourite racetrack in Australia. I love it. Race 1, Drew. Market please, and distance, etc.
Elberk 280, so it's a 1,000 metre 3-year-old Colts and Geldings. Soft 5 track, no rain around, so we should be getting a good 4. Elberk 280, Asteria 370.
Asseteer.
That's close.
Asseteer 370, Memphis Rock 440, Skiddaw $7, along with the rest. Speed, I thought Asseteer, Elberk, Condos Express, and Skiddaw all have speed. Skiddaw's dropping back from 1400, so I don't know how fast it'll want to go. Memphis Rock thereabouts, the rest further back. Skiddaw at SP $8 versus Ruby Saki, but drops from the 14 to the 1000 here. Elberk returns gelded and with the biggest figure in the race and has seen the Valley before, which makes him unique in this race and a deserving favourite in my opinion, Drew. Memphis Rock has been up a while, drops back from 1200. He did beat Celestial Shower last start, who won a piss week maiden at Sale yesterday. I think Elberk could be pretty hard to beat, but not a race I'm overly interested in betting into at the current odds.
I think this is a really hard meeting overall, and I think if Nico's trial report gives me a positive tick...
It's a big week for Nick.
It's a massive week for Nick, and I'm going to be relying on him heavily, but I'm also going to be relying on you, because if you give me a tick from the yard, I'm having my biggest bet of the day on Elberk. I think it strikes the right race, right barrier, right jockey. I'm a mortal microphone form. None of these other horses are proven here, and I think Memphis Rock is probably the lay of the day. So I'm taking something on in the race. I think I'm actually still getting the right price about it, and if the trial report will come through from Nick tonight, I'm going to be having half my bet tonight if I get a green figure or better.
Okay, mate. Race number 2, please.
Sorry, I'm a little bit off the bit.
You're always off the bit. Race 2, markets like this. Market looks like...
Yep, Jettistar 370, Absolute Flirt, and Tarayev.
Yep.
420.
Very hard name to pronounce.
Mystical Pursuit $6 and Andresi Avenue $7.
Mockery, Jettistar, Tariff, Rumble Dolls, Sea Tonic all could lead. So I expect a really strong tempo. So Tonic and Mockery, the race fit horses here, which I think is worth something. Rumble Dolls jumped out since a really good win at Sandown, and it comes from a really strong sale maiden. They just form around this time of year, whereas we've got horses coming from a better stock of horse. But the times that Rumble Dolls recorded are equal to anything in this race. Jettistar brings the biggest figure, but it's first up off a random fucking preparation where it shit itself in the good race.
Yeah.
Mockery and Andrassy Avenue are the only 2 horses that have raced at the Valley. The fresh horses all have ability. I think it's a pretty tough race. If I had to bet now, I'd be Rumble Dial each way from 7. I like what it did at Sandown. It was a mover's bet that day.
Yeah.
It comes from that good sale race. Provided he rides this thing just neutral, I think it's going to be pretty strong late. The faster they go here, the fitter I want my horse to be. Andrassy Avenue might be the one that sort of runs over the top of them.
I am really struggling with this race. I think this is probably one of the hardest races of the day for me to pick a winner. I think the tempo is muddling. 1,000 metres, they can really overdo it at the Valley. You've seen quite a few of them in recent times, 90, 55s and 1000s, where you have 3 of them first bend fighting for a position because they think, oh, it's advantage rail.
Then the anchor drop, then the sweeper.
Yeah. Like, it's such a pattern there that I think in play is important for this race. Look, if you're twisting my arm, I actually don't mind.
Not twisting arm
No
on
twisting?
the show. I've
Okay.
given my thoughts, that's enough.
Done.
We don't force tips here.
I don't want to
Bad
force
enough
one.
tipping. We're the home of a candle betting of horse true.
Good point.
Race 5, 1500 metres. Nudge Bar's favourite, $3.70. Trigger Point, $6. Alsvin, $6. Legal, $6. Dane Thunder, $7.50. Vungas, $7.50. Diplomatic Jack, $8. Snipes, $10. Longer the rest. I thought the speed was pretty good here. Vungas, Macrobius, iBoogie, Alsvin, Full of Theories, all roll forward. Trigger Points there, thereabouts. Life of Waldo's up there, thereabouts. Snipes, Dane Thunder, Nudge Bar next. Legal from 16. It wants to sort of roll forward, but it probably can't here. Mercy Street, Fast Plan next. The rest further back. It's a really busy race with heaps of angles and a pretty tricky map. I wouldn't be surprised if I was a mile off with that.
Yep. That's
just sort of the speed I think the horses have. Macrobius at big odds here gets a positive jockey change, blinkers, and from barrier 6, you think it'll make a tone lucky. I think it's got a figure here that's good enough to be right in this race. It's huge odds and it appeals each way to me here. D Lane gets onto iBoogie drawn 1, who was not ridden very well last start, I thought. Well, it wasn't suited. From 1, it'll take a peach from D Lane here to get suited.
Yep.
So if he's negative at all, he might get just sort of stuck in the rip, like at the beach, and just sucked out the back of the surf here. But I think Macrobius is the better way to play it. Alsvin, I could make a case for. Trigger Point, I could see winning. Snipes, Mercy Street, and even the Great Artist. I think Nudge Bar's pretty short for the map and the setup. Legal's a horse I like a lot, but I just hate the map. I hate it. Anything you'd like to add, Drew?
I thought just a little bit of value. The Life of Waldo horse, I know it's got a horrible SP, it's a Tassie horse, and I don't really actually like tipping into these. But I think from barrier 2, it's just going to get the suck
nice
run. And that's what I'm looking for here, because there's a lot of speed, there's a lot of horses who get caught 3-4 wide, and I think this will be a day where, you know, from barrier 2, if it can sit outside iBoogie, that's even better, because I don't want to be the rails. I don't want to be 3 or 4 back the rails this type of day. So I'll probably...
If the horse is like Life of Waldo and iBoogie show intent early, it's going to be chaos.
Oh, yeah. Everything's going to be 5 wide.
Yeah.
Tough race.
Race 6, 2,500 metres, 135k, benchmark 78, more than exceed, $3.20, Miramar 380, and backed since we sat down. The Statesman 440, Social Element $11, Diamond Grace backed 17s, backed into 15s, and longer the rest. The San Remo's 15s gets Jared Fry on. I think that will really suit this horse. Jared's a very, very strong rider. Do you want me to go or you're going?
Quick one on San Remo. I thought it was a massive performance last start because it was working wide.
That was with the Ninja Warrior on, so he's rock hard fit after he's like crossfitting. So
that
he
horse
would suit the horse too.
That horse had to do a load of work to get over, and it's still stuck on for 3rd. Like I thought it could have ran 7 for 8th, and I would have not faltered the run because of the work it had to do early. So I think that was much better than it looked. Is that pace in this race? I'm not seeing as much, so it'll probably have a better time if they work forward from barrier 6.
Speed. I thought Social Element would cross with Jinder, San Remo, thereabouts. Jared's not a positive jockey as a rule.
Yep.
I doubt he goes too far forward. The Statesman and Miramar should roll forward from out there. The rest will sort of fall into their spots. I thought Miramar's pretty hard to knock here. It ticks most boxes. I think Habisha looks pretty big odds with Jess Eaton getting on and wasn't suited last start and backs up here on the quick backup. I think the Statesman though will start favourite. I don't know why it isn't favourite.
It's the type of horse that they'll come for, always.
It gets a map where they can do what they want to or what they need to. It gets T.O. on, claiming 3. It's full of ticks. What price would Lord Belvedere be here? It looks the bet to me here. It's one of the first times I can sort of encourage a bet, a confident bet, the Statesman, the top weight.
Yeah.
Race 6, number 1, the Statesman.
I would not be losing on the Statesman in the race, I'll put it that way. I kind of, my best value of the day is San Remo each way, I think.
I can't agree with it. I can't disagree with you.
Yeah, I think it'll drift as well. They're not going to back it, so I'm not going to back it now.
If it jumps well, Jared will just put it to sleep.
Yeah.
And you know he'll get it out and give it a go. Race 8, Drew, the market is Tavi San 450, Usain Bowler 460, Age of Chivalry 450, Rocks the Castle 5s. Now we get to double figures. Highland Beat 15s, Columbia 16s, Arrow Lane 19s, along with the rest. They're not sure here, Drew. They're not sure at all. Map looks a little bit like this. Tavi San, Sheriff Johnstone, Rocks the Castle, Asia Chivalry, and Lone Star all got good speed. Asia Chivalry, D Lane, John 3. I think he'll take a sit. Hopefully keeps the 1-1. Arrow Lane further back. It's a busy little map after that. Asia Chivalry has above average ability, and I'm really excited about this preparation.
So you think it's going to a new level?
I think it could.
So first stop's your opportunity, or
No, we'll luckily
mounting out will tell you, I guess.
Mounting out.
Yeah.
Alright. So we'll wait for that, Druzy. But I do think it's a really exciting horse. I'm excited to see what it does. Sheriff Johnstone, the map's a little bit tricky, but I think it brings pretty good form here from the Flemington Straight. Now it goes around the bend, question mark. The good speed I spoke about, if they all stay in and they stay in this race and there is good speed, that suits Usain Bowler. Usain Bowler brings a really good SP profile and a dynamic turn of foot to the race. I think it could really, really savage the line. I reckon we backed it at double figure odds from the yard to win at the Valley once. Maybe the last race.
Sounds right to me.
Can't remember.
We've backed it a few times and we did get a few wins
I thought the two roughies here, Labu and Star, positive jockey change, jockey and trainer flying, sits off that hot speed as well, drawn 13.
Yep.
It'll be real wide. So by now we know where we want to be. So the map and the everything will change. Like Manio Mail will have adjusted for where we want to be in the run. But if it's fair to even and there's a good speed on here and they're running on, or they can run on, Labu and Star, Usain Bowler, and the other one, Just the Dreamer, drawn 9. It's going to get a good run behind the speed. I couldn't knock you if you liked it. What do you like here, Drew?
Initially, when I looked at this race, I liked Highland Beat because I thought they could be positive from it. But when you go back over what this stable have done with the horse from wide barriers,
firstly, though, just with the Hayes stable, God bless you, and Ryan Moore, the racing manager.
Yeah.
What you did to Think and Fly there in race 5 at Sale yesterday. The instructions that you gently gave to Damien Oliver were outstanding, and me and my partner and my son, thank you very much. It was an outstanding ride.
It
was.
Was.
How good it was. Ollie.
Stayed out of trouble, literally.
Yeah, literally though, but intent, just a little bit of intent.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, it was
And
great
saying
tactics.
that, I don't think there'll be intent here from the horse, so
I don't think this horse has as much ability as they thought Thinking Fly might have.
that's true.
Second start, cold. So you think cold.
Yeah.
Highland Beat's pretty well exposed.
Extremely exposed. So I thought on exposed form he could run well, but I'm querying that.
They can't roll forward.
Yeah.
It's too much speed.
Yeah. Sheriff Johnstone, I black booked after the run at Flemington. This is a harder race than I thought they'd get to. I thought they'd be picking off something easy and I'd be getting $4 or $5. I'm not prepared to bet at the price. I agree, Usain Bowler, Labu and Star if they run on. Bellaria is a horse I have a bit of time for. Now,
and you love the booking.
I do love the booking. Look, it's a horse that I can find here, but the problem is the barrier. So, once again, barrier 12.
You got the right jockey to sort the barrier out in D. Oliver.
Yeah, and if they're running on for the day, I think it's going to be one of the ones coming home, and it's got, I want to say, potentially a lead ability based on what it's done previously, but it does have to go. It does have to go that new level, and it is now a 6-year-old, so it's not exactly a 4-year-old becoming 5. It is fairly exposed.
What do the blue Rosemont silks mean?
I'm not too sure, but
You're the mailbag journalist, Drizzy. Dig.
all I know is we've had Choppy on it before, which is a good plug for Choppy.
Great man.
Look, realistically, I like horses that are coming from the Weir stable. For whatever reason, they've gone on with it.
It's probably because he's a fucking great trainer.
Yeah. So, overall, I think this is a really tough race. Manning on Mail's key.
Fair enough. Race number 9, punters. Benchmark 78 over 1,000 metres. Condor Heroes $4. Non-payer $5.50. I love that name. XL Tara $7. Freeze over $8. Queen Annabelle $9.50. More Wanted 10s. Longer the rest. Race has a long tail. Market speed map. Aloof, non-payer, freeze over, Sam's Image, the Centurion, Carlingford, Forbid Me Not, and More Wanted. All got good, strong speed. Next we have Condor's Hero, drawn 12, awkward. Queen Annabelle 7, a little bit awkward, but Ollie probably finds a beautiful spot. Haverdash and Definina. The rest further back than that. XL Tara probably last there from 16. The 5 horses I sort of like a little bit here. XL Tara, Queen Annabelle, More Wanted, Freeze Over, and Non-Payer. Condor's Hero, whilst returns are gelding, is hard to have at the price versus its map.
Yep.
Like, yes, like the horse. Yes, gelded. Yes, could win. Jeez, he's going to need a fucking good ride from there. Non-payer, Freeze Over, and More Wanted all appeal as sort of track specialists.
Sam's Image has been scratched, so there's a bit of pace out of it.
But still, it's still busy as hell. They are all sort of track specialists with friendly maps. XL Tara is a really dynamic horse that is athletic and light. I doubt it needs much. I doubt it will be far from its sort of peak performance first up. As a mounting yard judge.
Is it the type of horse though that if it gets a little bit of a bump on the corner here, which this looks a tricky, tight.
But if the race stays like it is, it's going to have to go back.
Yeah,
which I won't have to completely snick. It hasn't got a lot of early speed. If you go down on the fence, you might be able to touch it as it flies down the outside.
Yeah.
That's how like it. Queen Annabelle I like as well. It gets Ollie, can stalk him and be very, very strong late. Druzy.
More Wanted, blinkers on. I have a massive issue with the jockey.
What do you do to you?
He's done nothing, but he's ridden one winner in his past 50. He got Groundbreak beat for me as well, which is never a good sign. Sorry, not Groundbreak. He got beaten by Groundbreak when I wasn't on Groundbreak.
Yep.
And then the next start, Groundbreak doesn't win. So I'm finding some angles just
Just a hate.
Yeah. Look, the horse's profile's enormous here. It maps for run of the race essentially.
Great form lines.
Form lines are sound. Blinkers on. Like
Intent from the stable.
There's
the Chow Man.
And you're getting $10 for it. So
big pair of Chow. He's a massive unit.
If by this stage of the day they're struggling to make up ground, well, I know I'm in the right spot. I'm getting $10 about a horse that's in a good spot. I think Non-Payer's a very good horse, but coming off a synthetic win is always a negative for me.
I think there's many very good horses that are ever coming off a synthetic win.
That's true. It's a very good Moonee Valley horse then, is what I would say. It's suited to Moonee Valley.
Track specialist.
Yeah. And yeah, look, I'm scared shitless of Condor Heroes, but at the price, I'll take it on.
Alright, best bet, Drew. Mine is race 4. Sorry. The goats, it's really like Yarra. Sometimes the Yarra water can cause a bit of reflux.
Yep.
But it also gets rid of anything wrong with you at any kind
It's
of...
getting rid of the evil spirits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's cleansing me.
They're better out than in.
Every bottle of goat, every can of goat you have, you're a better human being.
You are. Scientific fact.
My best bet on the card, but is race 4, number 6. Travie, my friend, backs up, ticks every box, beautiful map, hard to beat.
Fair enough. My best currently, and I'm still wanting the ticks from you guys, but it's race 1, number 2, Elberk.
My value bet on the card is race 5, number 6, Macrobius. Big odds. My lay of the day is race 3, number 11, Kiss and Cry. Gets John Allen off after a very strong John Allen ride at Bendigo. Backs up quickly here. Some reasons really short for a horse that'll be 3 or 4 back the fence.
You can listen back and you'll know who my value was at $15. It is San Remo.
Yep. And what are you laying?
I'm laying Memphis Rock in race 1.
Alright, Mounting Yard Mail, we have it from Moonee Valley via myself and from Randwick via Rob Scurry.
Scurry's flying.
He is airborne, and how good is it? We've got information from Moonee Valley and Randwick. Are there two better joints to bet at?
Well, the only thing better is having the movers, because you've had your best month in over 12 months.
Yeah, it's been a big. Even the back end of May was really strong.
Yeah.
I think it's the office that we're in now. The
Definitely.
bit of more of a balanced. It's working. Everything's working.
When you get more settlement in your life, it's easier just to.
And
kind
it
of see
might
things
it
clearer.
might have a little bit to do with sort of what we were talking about with Frankie.
Yep, that's true.
I now have to get up every morning and take care of a small child who is mine.
Yeah, so
I can't get up. And
one hand you got the kid,
I
the other
can't
hand you
Uber
got
Eats
punting for.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I know. I put him on the baby yawn and sit on the desk.
Yeah.
But I can't Uber Eats like a bit of KFC and a boost juice.
Yeah.
Because I've got responsibilities.
It's true, I don't Uber Eats anything.
Yeah. Fuck, I've seen that credit card, you fucking Uber Eats plenty. So the mailbag.com.au if you'd like to get involved in anything, any of our products. Anything else we should touch on?
No, I'd probably just encourage everyone to actually get along to Moonee Valley, because it is actually a generally good experience out there.
Oh, it's a fantastic place to be, fantastic place to bet. I want to pray to God, Allah, Buddha, Zeus, Harry Potter, Bilbo Baggins, Gary Ablett Sr. that they don't fuck it up when they renovate it.